Hello, hello! Welcome back to Tactics Ogre. Let us cling together. One Vision mod. Today we'll be tackling level 103. This should be a very, very hard map, so let's go and see what's going on. It's just a shop. Well, I do need be needing some more magic leaves. I need to smoke that leaf, so I guess it's good that this is here, right? Wow. Thank you, random lich who's running a shop here for some reason. I would guess do the denizens of the Palace of the Dead need, like, goods? I don't. They can use items, so I mean, maybe. I guess they need like a weapon supplier, but he doesn't supply any of the weapons that they use, I don't think. I guess he does have crafting services, right? Anyway, wait, what is that crafting? What does that look like? Nah, it doesn't matter. I think I'm good. Anyway, this is something I thought we would do just for this episode of the Palace of the Dead and just make this Let's Play go on a little bit longer. Because that's what it needs. I was gonna go over my builds of all these characters, and just to show off what I was thinking when creating them. So, let's get started. So here's my lord, Denim, Cap as he's called in this game. And I'm not sure what I'm gonna go over. So originally, the reason I just gave him hammers is because, that's just what I decided on initially at the beginning of the game. Not really much more thought than that go into it, honestly. I don't really use much more of this. Like, the stun effect is really good. Hammers have like I think the highest proc rate for their status in the game. As far as like I don't know what the like non-stat affecting statuses would be. I don't know what the proper term would be, like, but like stun, like stop, bind, stuff like that, as opposed to like lowering defense and lowering attack and lowering accuracy and stuff like that. But I think the hammers have the highest of their respective class. Anyway, I don't know exactly what it is, but anyway, and then I just as far as this armor goes, wow, I'm just keep pressing the B button, huh? As far as this armor goes, I just gave him the adamantine armor, like standard armor. I don't think I'm going to change this. And then the world tree roots, just because more stun is always good. He's mainly healing at this point anyway. I've actually forgotten to give anybody the super necklace that I've gotten. I guess I can do that while I'm here. I should have checked all these builds beforehand, see if they were finalized. But anyway, that would require it being smart. He actually has like three. No, he has stun ward and fear ward. I didn't actually remember that actually gave him stun ward. That's pretty good to have the stun ward at the beginning of the game. Anyway, the Rage of Ishtar, huh? Who's Ishtar in this game? Is that a goddess or something? I don't know. Anyway, next up is Reinhold. I just made him. I tried to make him as overpowery as possible, and give him as many wards as possible, and gave him the Legion set. I don't remember what the Legion set does off the top of my head. I think it just raises his defense to like an extreme amount where he really can't be hurt that much. He has 355 defense, which is not the most I have out of any of these characters, not even close. But what's the button? It's this button. Yeah, like he barely has more than Cap, but still, he's quite a tanky boy, and I do think this raises his defense quite a bit. And it also gives him like a skill, I think, to use. I'm not 100% sure, but there's not really any information out there, I don't think. But anyway, let's move on. So Palmia here, as you'll remember, she was my archer that I first got. I didn't really feel like going and min-maxing all these characters to get like the best version of like a generic I could. It doesn't really matter to me. I think One Vision fixes it, so these are like the best versions of it. So they have the optimal starting stats for their specific class. I think there's two sets you can get where like your warrior, your wizard, and your cleric, your starting cleric are all sorry, your warrior, your wizard, and your do you only get 5 people at start the game? Your warrior, your wizard, and your Valkyrie at the beginning of the game are all female, and then your archer and your cleric are male. But I got the other way around, where I have 3 males and 2 females. It didn't really matter. I don't think it matters as far as stats goes. I think if that's in the base game, I'm not sure, but One Vision there definitely doesn't factor into anything. Anyway, I think I read in the original that it does, but whatever. That male and female classes actually do have different stats. But anyway, she has the cursed weapon because just if you don't have really any elemental, if you're not planning on getting any elemental skills, I think just cursed weapon's just better than anything else. And she didn't have any elemental built up, and I didn't really feel like building it up. But anyway, we'll see how much better the because the next Fusel is in here in the Palace of the Dead. The highest ranked two-handed Fusel is here. I think they're both just called pistol. Let's just call them rifle. I think it's the end game gun is literally called a rifle. But anyway, and it does give you cloud kill. It's really just there for its special effect, which does an insane amount of damage to like enemies that even resist like golems. This will do an insane amount of damage to them because it does like HP percent damage instead. There's like 20% HP damage extra or something like that. Anyway, and then she just has the scout set because really she shouldn't be getting hit anyway, and just to free up some slots for anything, for extra slots for stuff. Anyway, I forgot that raised her movement. That's really good. And then anyway, let's go. And then yeah, I believe the Mirage Cloak is a new addition to One Vision that's got added to the last update with all the armor updates. And so it's just the upgraded version of the what is it called, the Phantom Cloak. So it's made for sword masters and classes that want to be kind of dodgy but want to be on the front line as well, and not classes that generally just need to dodge because they don't have the defense to really take a hit anyway, even if you were to buff it up, so like a little bit less min-maxed. And it does give you, this one gives you accuracy, and that's what you need. So if you have a lower accuracy class, is kind of what you want to put on them, and definitely Bardolph has the lower accuracy. He's a little bit better now that his crossbow rank is good. Yeah, so this Bardolph is of course by starting wizard. He's been a necromancer for quite a while. Yeah, he's rank 8 crossbows, and just because of his dark crossbow, he finally has rank augment dark. I remember for a while he had like rank 1 or 2, and he couldn't hit anything with dark magic. As soon as the enemy difficulty jumped up, he couldn't really hit anything, unfortunately. But yeah, that's my build for him. Just have a crossbow. It's just better than his magic most of the time, and it gives him more accuracy. I should really be using magic more often. I just kind of forget he has it. And of course, I never use the necromancy because it comes up so rarely. Well, most of the necromancy spells are buff spells. So they're not really buff spells specifically for undead, so they're not really useful. I know that in this game you can do like a run where you have a lot of undead units and like a couple of and like Denim can be a necromancer, and you have a couple more, and that's like a really good build, because as long as the enemy doesn't have any way to exercise your units, they basically and they don't knock down every single one of your units at the same time, you basically get like infinite spawns, which is broken as fuck, but it's something you can do. Anyway, let's move on. This is mainly a how cool is this in theory build, and not so good of a actual practical build. This is Rosa the Ancient Knight. She's the starting cleric. I had spent some time as a warlock, or whatever the female name for that is in this game in One Vision. I don't remember. Anyway, she has 2 augment skills on. One is just for her weapon. She has rank 2 in it right now, which is really good. She has rank 5. It's honestly too to give up, because the Goddess Unleashed gives you +3 to your augment fire. It does give you stop ward, which is the best ward in the game, and it gives you her blessing, which of course I've shown off. It does fear on every, a 66% chance for fear on every adjacent unit. It does I think 33% of her health, and gives her speed. Anyway, yeah, it gives her quicken. It doesn't say actually damages you, but it does. But she does have quite a bit of magic defense, which is pretty good. So none of the others are gonna get. She still does a bunch of magic defense. She has pretty good attack value for what she has. This is a one-handed sword, by the way. I mean, it's one-handed katana that requires 2 hands. But anyway, I don't really know. Anyway, and I also gave her the Archon helm because this is because Archons, come on. It's perfect for an Angel Knight. And then the Garb of the Sages, which technically you could have multiple of these. If you really wanted to go back and farm them, you could absolutely have multiple of these. And the Augment Light just for the better healing and stuff like that. Anyway, yeah, she has quite a bit of wards on her as well. Does she have a ward equipped? I might be dumb and gave her a ward. No. Okay. That's fine. The bad thing about weapon wards is that you don't get the ability to heal wards off someone else. So like, if you put stop ward as a skill on somebody, they can heal stop on another character. They can heal stop bind or stop bind or, oh my god, am I really doing this? Stop, bind, and shackle on someone else. But anyway, let's move on to Bertrand. Bertrand's like a new addition. I decided to just like make him a, like, kind of cheat him in to be a flying unit. I really wanted to mess around with more flying units, and he's pretty good. I made him, he was originally a Valkyrie, but I already have a Valkyrie in, you get a like a canonical Valkyrie in Festa, so I really just wanted to make him a different class, and I also wanted to try out Beast Tamer. And I noticed that Beast Tamer was in fact a class that you could, that flying unit could use, so that was my logic. You can technically do this like legitimately in game using the Snapdragon effect. You can take over someone else's like physical stats and physical appearance while keeping your like mental stats, I believe, keeping your skills, I believe. You take over all their stats and builds, but you replace the name and the stuff of the other unit. But anyway, and so if you really want to go through the trouble of doing that, you can. I just made him a flying unit because why not? Because I could have done it, but anyway, I just didn't want to take the time. It would take me too much. But anyway, I gave him the since he didn't really have an element. He does have an element. But the fire spear is so far in the game that I didn't really want to use it. Unfortunately, it is on the one heavenly general, not the heavenly general. It is on the one, what is his name? I don't remember what his name is, but it's on the guy with the mustache, the Dark Knight with the mustache, him. It's on him. So good luck getting that in a timely manner, because that's literally the last map in the game where you can get that. Anyway, and then I gave him just some generic stuff. This is just for stun. I almost never use it because I forget, but it does give you Venom Ward, which is nice. He doesn't really have any more wards on him, just some generic stuff. Beast Tamer is a pretty good class. Really, when you gotta have, I just made him a flying class also to fly around with my only two bees, which are Ubda and Berta. So that was my logic there. And Canopus, yeah, I think the canonical build for Canopus is to have him with an axe. We have it with the Wind God axe, Boreas. But, you know, I wanted to give him the spear because I wanted to fly around and like have as much range as possible with a melee attack, and also with a bow, and that was my logic there. Yes, the Icarus bow, not great, but it does its serviceable. He finally is doing serviceable damage, especially against squishier units. Like, of course, he's never going to do good damage against like golems or something, or knights. But against like a backline squishy, he's going to do decent damage. And T-Lock's Bolt actually does decent damage. T-Lock's Bolt. So this was the endgame weapon I wanted to use. I think it's the best 2 to 3 range one-handed spear that in the game. So that's my logic here. This is from the water temple. Yeah, it gives you acrobatics, which is interesting. Is it just on one unit or it's an area? Is this an area? Okay, that's cool. And you go, this is pretty much useless. I should probably take this off of him and give him something else. Like I could give him the scout band for trajectory. I never even thought about that. But this does give him maximum avoid. Like, what would the other one give him? I need to put the ogre set on somebody. Actually, come to think of it, we can do that now. Where is the helmet? Did I just blind it real hard? I blinded it real hard, yes. Okay, it gives you agility. It doesn't give you any avoid, but it does give him trajectory, which might be worth it. And it will increase his accuracy. I don't know, but his avoid is so fucking... Like, 272 is a ridiculous amount of avoid. Like, no one even comes close to that so far that we've looked at. Like, the closest is Bertrand, of course, but I think... Nah. I will said that just Hawkman get a natural boost, but I don't think race matters. I'm in the calculation, I'm fairly certain. But anyway. It just matters in, like, what classes you can choose. Which, you know... And of course we have Donalto here. He is the Lazarus, which is the best second highest level staff in the game. It's probably the best. It has exorcism, which is great, just in case he like gets silenced or something. I think he has silence ward anyway, but you know, whatever. Just in case. Just you saw it was actually useful in the last map where he was doing that, where you saw exercising people in the first turn, which is really good. And he also has Stop Ward. I forgot this gave Stop Ward. That's really good, actually. And then Holy Crown. These are just mainly for the stats and the augment. Not that I rarely use the ology skills, like the racial damage skills, but or like the effective leech or absorb MP. Like, you really don't need it unless he. Honestly, it's better just to eat a magic leaf, usually, because like it's unlikely that another magical unit is going to get on the back line for him to do it, based on all the units in the game that can get in the back line. Anyway, let's move on to Sarah. You get her, of course, when Janalto joins, you can get her. And in One Vision, they change her into a rogue. I just gave her the cursed crossbow. I don't think I'm gonna give her the highest level crossbow. I believe the highest level crossbow, I can look it up real quick. The highest level crossbow in the game is an ice crossbow, I believe, with Stop Ward. I think all of the highest levels ones have Stop Ward just for good measure, because it's the best one. Like, the ones that Stop Ward protects against are the most damaging debuffs in the game, besides like Stone. But Stone kind of protects you a little bit, so it doesn't leave you entirely vulnerable. So because it just it bumps up your defense and magical defense by quite a bit. But yeah, bars, the ice crossbow. I don't remember where that is. I don't think I have it. No, the highest one I have is, sorry, I believe bars and Astra, I think, are in the second level of the pass. That I'd have to look up my little sheet I made just to see which one it gives you. But yeah, I gave myself Opportunist and Reaver Ring to give her some better skills. This doesn't give you outflank? I don't think she has outflank on her, come to think of it. I don't think she has it, so that might be a bug. Or it just gives you better buried treasure. But anyway, I just gave her I never used the steal skill anyway. She better have it on. I know she has it on her, yeah. She only has rank 1, I think, but she now has rank 5 with the skills she has on her, so that's good. But anyway, she just has standard, hey, I want to be in the back line, I want to dodge as much as possible, and I want to, I just want dodge, because she doesn't have high enough defense to hit anything. Even her magical defense is kind of garbage anyway. Yeah, she doesn't have much better. Canopus doesn't have much better defense than she does. Yeah, anyway. Okay, let's move on to Voltaire. So really, I've been struggling a little bit to come up with a build for him. I chose axes at the beginning of the game. I think he has axes. When Voltaire joins, he has axes, swords, and oh god, I can look it up what he has, because I didn't train the other ones. He's axes, swords, and no. Let's do the brows. Yeah, he has axes and hammers is what he has. So I could have given him hammers at the start of the game, and it would have been maybe a little bit better. Is there a one-handed light hammer, come to think of it? I don't remember if there is. I don't think so. I think God Hand is a two-handed. Redeemer is, but I'm talking about the ones that are really far down there. Yeah. Yeah, it's not called God Hand. I don't know why I thought it was called God Hand. Maybe they might have changed it to being something else. God Hand is the name of it used to be God Hand, but now it's a different name because God Hand we'll get to God Hand later. So the new hammer is called something different, but it's still two-handed. Anyway. So yeah, not really much I could have done there with like a light axe, because both of I guess the hammer's a little bit higher in the pecking order. The light one-handed hammer's a little bit higher in the pecking order than the light one-handed axe is, but not really much to choose from. I did give him a special weapon. I gave him Aegis, which gives him the Night Seal Aegis, if you could believe it. It's Aegis, I believe, is how you pronounce it. But anyway, this is just one of the best tower shields in the game. I think this is the best tower shield in the game that you can get. But it's really just increasing his defense as much as possible is the goal of this build. Increasing his physical defense. I think he has worse physical defense than Festa does, to be honest. I might need to adjust what his skills are, but because I haven't paid attention to that. Anyway, let's move on to Rose. Rose, her the thing I wanted to do with her is I wanted to give her as much power as possible while giving her the Void Ring. Now the Void Ring is of course giving her -20. I could technically put this on everybody. It is really good at giving your units, making your units very quick, but it does remove any other buffs they get from like attacking, like putting on jewelry. So, and jewelries can be good, like that the wolf ring and the cat ring are really good. But anyway, my plan for her is to give her the Shadow Master set. The Shadow Master set, I believe I'm still missing the axe for it, that I want. Yeah, that appears later in the Palace of the Dead, so I'm almost there. But that'll be won't be for a while. And then there's a vest that I don't have as well, I believe. Here, let me see where that is. Yeah, the Gorgon Shield is a Shadow Master set, the Skull Mask is part of the Shadow Master set, and Thanatos Armor is part of the Shadow Master set. Where is that, come to think of it? I do have it open, and I could scroll down. Thanatos Armor is in the Palace of the Dead. Okay, it's way later in the Palace of the Dead, okay. Anyway, let's move on. So here's Penny. One of the, like, these are one of the only 2 units a unit ever recruited that aren't, like, special. They're just, like, generics. But, yeah, she has the Wind God Axe. She just had Wind when I first got her. So maybe another element would have been better, but I think she already had rank 2 when I first got her, so that's why I didn't change it, but I could be wrong on that. I could just check. I don't think she's leveled it up. Yeah, Augment Air. She has rank 3. It's not bad. Not that I ever use Air Magic on. I probably should, because she does have Headwind, which is a really good debuff. So I probably should be using that more often, but I forget. Anyway, she does have Boreas, which is one of the Wind God weapons. She did come with, like, axes, so that's why I chose that for her. And it also gives you Sleep Ward, which is not the best. There's not many stuff that does sleep. There's not much kills in the game that does sleep, so it's not the best, but she do have the Dragon Slayer stuff. Both of these are Dragon Slayer sets. There is a gun that we'll get later, which is why I gave her guns, that will give her the Dragon Slayer abilities. So that's what I'm going for. That's what I'm gunning for, and so that I can take off all the Dragon Slayer set on her, and what the Dragon Slayer set gives you is it gives you better damage against dragons, and it gives you the Dragon Slayer skill for free, which is good. Yeah, that's way later in the game. Yeah, Dragonet. Okay. Then we have Ori Seal. Of course, I gave her Indra's Bow, which is, I think, just made for her, honestly. She's the Thunder Maiden, of course. I don't know why 3 of the unique women you get in this game all have Thunder element, that's weird. I don't know. I think, Festa you get in the original, right? So, and Ori Seal you get in the original, right? Which you can get on the same route, so I don't know. But anyway, that's weird. That's weird that Ravnus in this game. Is that in Let Us Cling Together, in unmodded in vanilla Let Us Cling Together? Is Ravnus a Thunder element? Huh. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, I mean, Thunder's a good skill, a decent one to have. Stun, not a lot of enemies resist stun, so it's one of the more common skills to use and to have, so that's pretty good. Anyway, I gave her the Winged Boots just so she can move around without having to, it's a better Escalade, so she can get over gaps and stuff, because Escalade doesn't give you over gaps, and it gives you the same height as the Winged Boots do, as Fly does, or Fly gives you the same height as Escalade does, but it just gets you over gaps, and, it's just better. And yeah, just give her a stun more. This is a really good bow, but it doesn't really give you much, but not a lot of the bows do give you anything. The bows don't really have any effects. 2-handed bows don't really have any effects. Not that there's one-handed bows don't really give you any effects either, just because bows are still really good at one vision. And she can disable people from far away. Just max out her accuracy with the bow, honestly, and give her a little bit of dodge. So let's move on to Fulkert. So of course, Fulkert joins as a knight, but since he had ability of swords, I just made him my sword master. Yeah, this is a standard sword master guild build. Once I get him on my team. Actually, I could just give it to him now. I completely forgot this was a thing that I could give him. Oh yeah, let's give him that now. That's way better. So once I'll give Lancelot Lombardia once he joins, because that's his sword, of course. But yeah, I didn't even realize. And once he joins, once I get the best once I get the best one-handed katana, I'll give it to him. Just because I don't think he has any. Do you have any? Do you have a? No, he does not have a augment skill on him. Is there a better katana I could give him? Is there like a light katana that I could be giving him? Let's see. I'm looking at the thing. Am I? Can you hear me talk? Yeah. Okay. Wow, we're already 25 minutes in. Holy shit. Anyway. There is, well, not really. Actually, that's kind of interesting that there's not really a good one. Amortarasu is just a craftable. Just a standard craftable. Doesn't actually give you any wards or anything. Okay. Interesting. What's the best one-handed two-handed sword in the game? The water element? Okay. Interesting. Gives you all heal too. That's pretty good. Probably in the Palace of the Dead, if I had to guess. I think the second best and the best, the second highest level and the highest level are usually going to be in the end of the Palace of the Dead, which is why there's so many. Like on the next floor we'll get to, there's three items on the next floor, which is crazy. But anyway. The reason I chose Earth Element for him is just because he had a hammer. The first hammer you could get in the game had Earth Element. So anyway, that's what I chose. And it works because it matches with Vice, right? So that's pretty kawaii. Anyway, let's go. Yeah, Bayen the Wizard you get for in the neutral route that joins with Sistina as part of Sistina's group. I believe you rescue Sistina. That was a while ago, by the way. I think I was still in the first month of Tactics Ogre when I did that. So excuse me if I don't remember. Yeah, I gave him the Art of Squisha. I don't think as far as this is the unique book, right? You get no. I'll give away the Grand Grimoire later, but yeah, so I don't think this is as good. Does this give you better int score? Huh? This is just better. Oh, I didn't know that. It doesn't give you effectiveness against that, but whatever. Holy shit! I didn't even. How did I never check that? I just assumed it wouldn't. I just assumed it was worse. Okay. Wow. Anyway, is there another book I can be getting? I think there is one. There's a spell book in House of the Dead, right? No, it's just Arsquisha and the Grand Grimoire. Okay. Arsquisha, of course, you can craft. So yeah, it's just these two, the Cursed Weapon and then the Grand Grimoire. So yeah, he should be wielding that. I don't know why he didn't. I apologize, but anyway, just a standard mage build. Flame and Void gives you trajectory, so you don't have to waste a skill slot on that. Please tell me he still doesn't have a skill slot in trajectory. Hopefully I took that off. Yes, I did. Okay. I know I rarely use Conserve RT. It's a really good skill, but I just rarely use it because he's usually meditating. So I really should use that more often. Conserve RT is a really, really, really good skill. And of course he comes with, I just augmented his water instead of, his water skills instead of his lightning skills. Maybe I should have a lightning one here instead, so I can more even them out. But our elemental resistance is really, they don't matter that much, I'm gonna be honest. But anyway, I don't think, yeah, agility and avoid he really doesn't need. I'm not putting him in any. I shouldn't put him in any place where he can get attacked. Anyway, I mean, sometimes you can't help but get hit by a stray arrow or bullet, but you know, or bolt, I guess. But you know, as far as protection against magic, he's gonna be good anyway. Yeah. Sistina. So she actually doesn't do. I really need to come to think about it, I really need to put that TP skill on her. And replace something else with it that I never use, like Leyline. Leyline is funny, but I never use it. I'm going to go ahead and learn. Do you have access to You have access to Tactician, right? Because she really needs it. Yes. Because she really needs it. Because she doesn't gain a TP as well as other people. Because she only gains TP for the first hit of Chrysogrim. We'll go over Chrysogrim in a second, but. Yeah, I wanted to replace Leyline. with yeah, she also has a bunch of skills for her, but yeah, I think that's just gonna be better for her. For Chrysogrim, just Chrysogrim basically has basically hits twice, but the second hit doesn't give you any TP, so she ends up getting even though Chrysogrim is significantly like lower level, as significantly like lower power than like other swords of its class. Like if I check other swords that are here, like you can see like these guys have 112. This guy's 112. This is what it is. This one gives you Snapdragon, so it's not really meant for attacking. But as you can see, like Brynhildr and like Orushian give you 140 instead of like 100. It's not terrible, but like yeah, it's significantly outclassed by stuff that's way lower level, like the highest level sword you can buy from the shop is significantly more attack than it, but it hits twice, so it's pretty good. And of course, against unarmored units, the sword's going to do decent damage anyway. And so she does a shit ton of damage, but anyway. And I also gave her this just to give her as much parry as possible. She almost never gets hit by anything that isn't magical. She has pretty good magical defense actually, but with this, she's good. And of course, I just give her the ability to fly, because why not? Why not? I kind of wish to save you another buff, but fly is good enough anyway to do that. And this is just for avoiding, while also giving her a little bit more defense. And then Sharper's Touch, which I don't remember exactly what it does. I think it just has good stats. Yeah, it just has Overpower, which I don't think affects you if you don't have Overpower equipped, but whatever. It just gives her good dex and strength, just for a little bit more attack power. And now we go to Myrddin, and he has Durandal, which is really a really good sword. It does make him way harder to hit with other characters. As you can see, the White Knights are kind of really slow, and they get debuffed quite often. But you know, if the enemy's going to concentrate on one person, I'd rather have the person take as much punishment as possible, like Antigone or like Antigone or the Knights that tend to get hit with debuffs as much as possible because they have lower dodge, but they take as much punishment as possible. So really, I would rather them get hit by that. And yeah, I gave him this for as much defense and HP as possible, and just the helm. This is pretty standard build, not much to talk about here, not much unique here except for Durandal, which does give you renewal, which is really good. I should remember that so that I can do that start at the beginning. I can immediately do that once I start on the first turn. Anyway, let's go. You know, I don't think this Adelaida build is quite as good as I wanted it to be. I almost never use her bow. I should really probably switch back to her being able to throw items, considering her item use is why I keep her around. Familiar isn't a great class, honestly. Like, it does give you a little bit of healing, and it does give you access to bows, but of course she doesn't have that high of a bow rank. In fact, unfortunately, because I switched her pretty late. Yeah, she only has rank 3. Because I never use it, but she does have rank 7 magic, which, you know, some of these units have rank 8, but rank 8 augment light. But you know, I really just use her for healing. So if I'm gonna put a bow on her, I really need to put counter on her so she can do it. But whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, Chamos. So now Chamos starts as a lizard. Lizards normally can't be ninjas in the game, but I started on an earlier build of One Vision, which had ninja as just a human ninja. Chamos as a human ninja. So that's why he's a ninja now. As you can see, I just gave him throwing weapons. He does pretty well with them. The highest level throwing weapon skill is really good. But it's not, but like the lower level, like the other finishing moves aren't as good. Like this one gives you like a ranged stop, which is really good, but all of these aren't really great. Oh, this one actually gives you slow. I never knew that. Oh, I guess I should have been paying attention. But yeah, these two aren't great. Like this one isn't great. I don't even know why it's here. It gives you 2 extra range, but not great. I wish it would have more skills. Do you really not have the other highest level katana skill yet? Oh, he must have like rank 7 or something. Yeah, rank 6. Ooh, yeah, I'm also never attacked with that, I guess, so that's why. Also give him Augment Ice. So like the reason I gave him Augment Ice was because the highest level highest level throwing weapon, or sidearm, excuse me, throwing weapon is a ice affinity, but it also requires 2 hands to wield. So I could throw stuff. I don't remember how much slow this gives, or how accurate this slow effect is. It says 25%, not terrible. I would like better. I think Hobble is 25% as well. It does give him a significant damage boost. I might just put it on him, but it would remove this, which also gets him stun ward, which is pretty good. And of course, he just has dodge skills, which, quite frankly, he gets hit by magic quite a bit. He has very low defense, as you can see on the right over there, for a level 42 unit. But anyway. And so now here's Festa. So my idea with Festa is that there is 2 weapons in the game that give you. There's 2 weapons in the game that give you augment lightning, which is unique because usually there's not more than 1 weapon that will give you an augment skill. So my idea was that I was going to give her hammers and knives, which, you know, I already have the knife. Here's this Zolotto's Canine, which is what you get for the lightning. The boss of lightning temple drops this. And this gives you augment lightning, and also the hammer also has augment lightning, which is interesting. I don't remember if it's plus. I think it's just +1. Illuminated swords. I'm blind. I skipped hammers. Yeah, it gives you augment lightning, which is unique among hammers. But unfortunately, it's locked behind a heavenly general. So I'm gonna have to go through all the paths that I had to get to it, and then go to that heavenly general. I think it's one of the ones in Rampa Wildwood has it. Vajra. And yeah, I just gave her as much thunder themed stuff as possible. I think they took out all of the vests in the game that are themed. Yeah, all of the armor in the game that's themed after stuff. But she does have an incredibly good defense. Oh, you know what? When I was looking at that earlier, it might be she was buffed. Oh no. Okay, that's why she was buffed earlier. But she does have decent attacks. She does have pretty good attack, right? Oh, not as good as these 2. I need to level her up. Yeah. So, but anyway, when she has that, she'll have really good magic. She does have pretty good magic. What is her rank at right now? Augment lightning. She has a +7. She's at rank 7. Once I get that, she'll be at rank like she'll be able to get like to rank 11 total augment lightning, which is crazy. And she'll be pretty good. She of course starts as a Valkyrie, so she's not going to be the best magic user, but with the +11, I think she'll get by. Anyway, unfortunately, she cannot learn like the higher level magical skills, but she can learn Blitz 2, which does do decent damage with her. Now, unfortunately, she cannot use Stun Bomb. She used to be a Dragoon, so that's where the Stun Bomb came from. Okay, we're still less than halfway through. Isn't that cool? Wow, holy shit, this episode's gonna be long. Tamuz, also one of the people neutral route trio. One of the named generics you get on the neutral route. I just have him hit as hard, fly around, be a flying tank, hit as hard as possible. That's my goal. Dumas, the sword, just to do as much damage. The two-handed hit cursed hammer, just to do as much damage as possible. Don't have to worry about any elemental affinities. Just get as many damaging skill and accuracy skills as possible on him. And of course, he has an anatomy, which is really, really good, because the most common enemy type is a human. So that's good. That's why I have it on him. And yeah, just to be. This is just to be as overpowering as possible. Okay. Yeah. Hobrim, dodgy, do a lot of parrying. And have a two-handed weapon. Do a lot of deflection, really? This one gives you deflection? Ew. Do all of them give you deflection? Am I blind? Was I blind? Deflection is, yeah, all of them give you deflection, which is a ranged block skill. Do you see him deflected on him? I might. No, he doesn't. Well, whatever. Oof. Anyway, this doesn't affect anything if it doesn't give you anything. But, so the highest level two-handed katana is going to be the Muramasa, which is dark, so we'll get that of it. We'll get that here. This is part of the Shadowmaster set. That's pretty good. I'm pretty sure if you're not wearing the Shadowmaster armor, a piece of Shadowmaster armor, there's not enough Shadowmaster armor in the game to have multiple people with the Shadowmaster buff. That's true for everything except for the Dragon Slayers, I think. So even though there's lots of different weapons you can equipped. There's really not much else you can do in that one. So yeah, this is just dodgy and blocky, and he does pretty well at that. He's a pretty cool Blade. The Blade Knight's a pretty cool class, so that's just my build idea for him. Antigone, Dragon. Not much to say here. She's Earth Dragon because why not? My lord is Earth themed, so that's why I did this. Not really much to say here, other than a standard dragon build. Devold, I cheated him to be a warden because I thought it would be funny. There is a better ice two-handed sword that we'll get in the Palace of the Dead, so we'll be able to upgrade it there. Yeah, it's the best one. Kaladbolg, I believe, is available here. I hope so. Yeah, it is in the Palace of the Dead. Okay, I'm not blind and dumb. I am deaf though. But yeah, so eventually he will be able to upgrade that. And I did give him the Glacial Choker. Just yes, he is decent. He's actually pretty good at magic. Come to think of it. He does pretty decent damage with his Impale, and Ice gives you it gives you Time Stop, which is a really good debuff. So, yeah. He does of course his dark skills he got from being a Terror Knight, but I had a Terror Knight in Rose, and I didn't want to give up Rose, so I could have made Rose something else. I could have made Rose a pumpkin, but then she would have had the pumpkin sprite. I didn't want to give her the pumpkin sprite. I guess I could have cheated that in. I could have altered her data so that she would have the regular sprite, but whatever. I didn't know how to cheat that in when I switched her over, so it's fine. Devold always has a unique sprite, so his sprite doesn't get changed. Anyway, the pumpkin class is pretty good. Like that's pumpkin skill, the one that lets you drop a pumpkin on everybody and like leadens them. I don't remember what that skill is called. The pumpkin strike. This is a really good skill. What is the other? Yeah, crystal pumpkin. Light damage to a single target by hitting with a crystalline pumpkin. It will destroy undead remains. Oh, I didn't know that. That's pretty good. How come I never knew that? And this one gives you doubling their HP up to the max. That's pretty good. I should probably have maybe I'll think about switching his skills up. From Jack-o'-lantern, because Jack-o'-lantern's not that. I almost never use it, so maybe I'll give him the exorcism skill. How much is the exorcism skill, by the way? Actually, it is 100. So yeah, it's not pretty. But if it kills undead, it will exorcise them. That is the gimmick. If a damaging skill like I believe, speaking of Sibyl's, Oelius, the special undead, the special Fusel attack she gets, which is why I have a Fusel on her. Special Fusel finisher she gets does actually still undead if she manages to hit with it, because she never will, because I've never raised the skill. What is her rank? I keep forgetting to do this. Yeah, she is halfway to rank 2. Oh well, whatever. She's just a normal skill. Speaking of upgrades, I really should equip her with this. It's just a buff across the board. Yeah, and it gets her full board, so I don't need to have Silence Ward on her. I don't think she has Silence Ward equipped on her. Yeah, she doesn't. Okay, well that's gonna be good anyway. So that now she can't be silenced or anything annoying. And now she can teleport around. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And she does have Augment Light, so she is going to be pretty good now. Anyway, let's move on. Olivia. Starts as a cleric. So not great. I really wanted to do like a fist-based cleric, but you know, I had the shaman because it's a unique class. I have to use it. So, and I gave her water, and I gave her fire as well, just because I didn't want to copy Bayen. She starts with 3 ranks in water, so that's why I gave her all the waters. That's why I kept water on her instead of using another class. But I don't think she even has. I don't even know she has good fire ranks. No, not even close. Yeah, magic unfortunately doesn't give you a lot of ranks in magic in the augment. It's really the ranks come from using a weapon that has that affinity will give you a lot better ranks. But yeah, just in water mage, pretty much. Shaman's a really good class. Gives you a lot of power. Surya she has her final sword now. She gives with a great sword. I don't remember what other skills what other abilities she comes with. She comes with one-handed swords and spears, which, you know, there is of course there's a higher level fire spear, and is there a fire sword that's high level? I believe she starts with a great sword equipped. in the neutral route, at least where I got her. One-handed swords, dummy. Yes, the highest level one-handed sword, Caliburn, which I believe is locked behind the end of the game. Oh, I know I have it. Whoops, I have it. Okay, I could have gotten it at this point. Yeah, that gives you Charm Ward and Speed Star, which is really good. But Megiddo gives you the Kiss move, which does a shit ton of damage with her, as I demonstrated earlier in the Altar of Beyond. But yeah, just a standard kind of dodge, like frontliner that doesn't have much defense, dodgy, a little bit dodgy, a little bit accuracy, stuff like that. That's a decent build here. Yeah, what does this one give you? It gives you Charm Ward. Not the greatest, but definitely annoying when Charm procs, and definitely more, it's been more, as the series has gone on, it's been more common for enemies to have Charm, so definitely useful to have. Elrig. This guy, what used to be a warrior, I think, but they changed him to have his own unique class, which has a unique weapon to it. So he can only use this weapon and the first fist you get. So this is God Hand. It's a pretty good fist. It's, yeah, not much else to say about it. He does a shit ton of damage with it, and he's dodgy, and he can use magic. He can use Ice Magic, and he has his own like buffs. He has his own unique buff that he unfortunately can't do it on the first turn, but he can give himself the ability to give himself Speed Star. Pretty good. Also off healer and exerciser. Pretty good. No complaints here. Sherry, another shaman build, just pretty much just mirrors Olivia. She starts as a sorceress, I believe, which is the female wizard, and then I think, isn't the other one called a witch? Whatever. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah, so just the Earth version of the Shaman class. Not much else to say here, other than Shaman's just a really good wizard class. But anyway, Kashua, Brynhildr, because this is the sword that her father used, so I gave it to her anyway. She does good things with it. And of course, I gave her the Luminate Guards, which aren't unique, but they are a unique drop. They only drop from one single enemy in the game, so you'll have to go back and farm for them. Kind of fits, right? Valaha stuff. And I gave her a parrying dagger, because why not? She parries, quite honestly, fairly often. And, of course, she has the Crimson Necklace, which comes with Silence Word, which is her unique necklace. I don't think you can put this on anybody else, so definitely just gonna keep it on her. Like, give her enough for frontline. I really don't use her much for frontline. I don't put her in the front line very often, because she kind of melts a little bit when I put her on the front line, but you know. And of course, I gave Lyndal here the Gunblade, because why wouldn't you? It's just a fun weapon to have him on, and you just, I don't really know, just light armor and dodgy armor. Really not much thought put in this one, other than a Gunblade, cool. I don't know why it says light in front of it, but whatever. I guess it just means it has less weight? I don't know. Maybe that's a holdover from something else. And then Gamp here. Gamp is going to have the best whip in the game, because I thought a Beastmaster, as a Beastmaster would fit to have him have a whip. He can use Fusils. He can use two-handed Fusils, I believe. Can he use two-handed Fusils? I think Lyndal can use two-handed Fusils as well. I would need to open up the class guide. I know he can actually, was one of the few Beast Headhunter is one of the few classes in the game that can actually use two-handed bows, along with Familiar and Ranger, and of course Archer. So yeah, that's good. Yes, he can use two-handed Fusils as well. Pretty rare. I think only Lord and Lord Commando and of course Fusilier share that. So can Lord use Archer use bows? Yes, they can. They can use two-handed bows. Okay, cool. So it's even more exclusive than two-handed bows, which I think it's the most exclusive weapon in the game is the two-handed Fusil. I'm not 100% on that. But of course the God Hand. I mean, like, barring special weapons that can only be used by like one person. But anyway, you know, Berta and Obda, of course, are unique griffins that only have special properties. Their stats are slightly different. I think one is more dodgy, one's more tanky, but I don't really know which one's between them. I think it's whichever one has the light affinity is more tanky and the other one's more dodgy. But it's very slight. Like Bird is I think more dodgy and Opt is more tanky, but yeah, it's very minor. Yeah, you can see Bird Opt has slightly more health. Anyway, but Azel'stan gave him wind weapon dagger, because why not? I don't think there's a water dagger that's good, so that's why I didn't get. I know he's a pirate, so maybe he should have water, but wind kind of works for pirate as well, right? Because, you know, they're on the wind. They're on the wind, matey. Okay, the water dagger gives you... Yeah, it's not good. Anyway, this is one of the higher level daggers in the game, so that's why I gave him it. And it's pretty good. It gives you blade focus, so it gives him the ability to shoot... if he shoots... I guess I shouldn't have the snake charmers on them, if I don't want to. Does blade focus actually give you the ability to shoot at long range? Stunbringer. No. Huh. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know which one's better. I think they have different skills. They give you the same thing. I'll have to look it up later what they give you. But it's light armor, a fusel for long range weapon damage, and yeah, pretty good. Obviously, the fusel is really, really good because it gives you fucking attunement, which is one of the best finishers in the game. Because it bewitches characters. That's crazy. I don't even know if any other... Is there a bewitch? Another bewitch and anything else? Does anything else give you bewitch? So instruments, one of the finishers gives you bewitch as well. But that's it. But I only have one character that can use instruments, so whatever. I mean, Adelaida kind of has good instrument skill, but whatever. Deneb, of course, I'm gonna give her a standard wizard build of staff, and then cape or robes and the choker. Standard wizard build here. Nothing much to see. Deneb just is a fucking powerhouse. She does so much damage, especially once she's buffed up. It's incomparable. I think the better staffs in the game are ice, which Rudlam's currently wielding, air, which is weird, and then divine and dark, which, you know. So there's not really a fire one. I wish this would replace with fire so that Deneb would have a better staff, in-game staff, but whatever. You could replace the last one with a fire staff, like why not? And just switch the other fire staff with an air one. No, wait, there's not another... Yeah, there is another fire staff, and actually in the bottom. And like one of the lower level, like not Graven Ash, from like one of the craftable actual fighting staffs is a good one. Anyway, Janna, gonna be like her. I'd make her a theme. She's like more of a themed build, honestly, just towards dark. I know she has air, which is I honestly use more often, just because the air debuffs are really, really good. But anyway, one of the best daggers in the game is a dark based dagger. So once I get that, which is in the Palace of the Dead, and I believe it's soon, I'll put that on her. Yeah, the highest level dagger in the game is a dark dagger. So that's what I'm going to be putting on her. And of course, she has the Gorgon Shield, which gives her so she can't actually learn the Gorgon ability to do the evil eye, but with this shield she can do the evil eye anyway. So, you know, pretty good theme as far as that goes. And then, you know, just come with other stuff that gives her more dark abilities, the Fulgen robes and the Cursed Choker. Let's move on. Rudlam, ice stuff, a little bit more frontline focused. I don't know why. I don't know what I would ever use that for, but you know, he can technically hold his own in the front line a little bit more than the other characters can. This is of course one of the unique rods in the game. Well, it's not unique, but it's like it's a unique drop. It only drops from one enemy in the game. You have to farm them if you want more. But yeah, it does give him Charm Ward, which, you know, not a terrible ward, and does give him decoy, so I could technically do that in the first turn if I really wanted to, but not the best. Anyway, Felicia, once I get the fresh two-handed katana in the game, I will put this on her. The Muramasa, that's gonna go on her. Not Habarim. Of course, Felicia she used in the vanilla game, she's a cleric you get if you kill off Donalto in the map he joins in. So, the undead map with the necromancer. I believe there's a necromancer on the map. But, yeah. So Felicia's, but now in One Vision, she joins as a ninja. So one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to keep that ninja, so I gave her the two-handed, keep that ninja thing, but I also wanted to use the heretic class, and I already had a ninja in my team, so I gave her the heretic class. Unfortunately, there is a programming, like, quirk with the... There's a quirk with the heretic class in that it changes your sprite to be evil Quashua, just because of how, like, cutscenes work in this game. So, yeah, Felicia has to be like bootleg Quashua, but you know, it's a good sprite anyway, so I don't mind. Normally she would have, like, if I were to change her out of the sprite now, she would have the ninja sprite, but maybe they can fix that in a later update to where the heretic doesn't have to be unique Quashua. I think the mod author tried to have the heretic not be a sprite class, but it broke cutscenes later in the game, so it broke the cutscenes where Quashua was supposed to show up as a heretic. So anyway, Zapan, not much thought, just give him the most powerful axe possible and give him a good thing. Maybe I should give him I can't give him the one-handed axe because unfortunately there's not a one-handed cursed axe, so the cursed axe is a two-handed axe, so not much I can do with that. So just gave him a good axe, and he can use flame breath on that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Berserker, just the main thing here is to just give him stuff, like, so he's gonna hit, this one only gives you RT delay, so that's a pretty good debuff, but this is mainly just to get him as good of a two-handed hit as possible. Yeah, so the main reason why you go fixed axe is to have fist poison them, and then axe poison them or remove their MP, and then the axe to make them have less defense to do breached on them. That breach is the status, that's the name. But yeah, this is just to do, like, be annoying basically, and this isn't bad accuracy, honestly, and it gives him some avoid as well, which he kind of needs, so because he can't equip heavier armors. Junin, Dragon Slayer. I don't know if you know this, but Junin can't hit shit because I think he still has rank 0, he is rank 6, so he really should be hitting more stuff. But unfortunately, the Dragon Slayer, as powerful as it fucking is, it's a really powerful sword, but as you can see, he has 775 fucking damage, but it gives you minus 60 accuracy, which is crazy. And he barely hits anything that is a dragon. And even has trouble hitting some dragons, but luckily he can, since he has a free Dragon Slayer ability, he can hit stuff with the dragon. With the Dragon Slayer ability, it gives him 100% accuracy against dragons. So, yeah, you know. And then we saw Ravenous. As soon as I get the two-handed spear, do I fucking have that? Am I fucking stupid? Spear. Pavana. Where do you get Pavana from? Am I dumb? Do I have that? I mean, I could check. No, it's a heavily general drop. Okay. I was really worried there for a second. But she does have a spear that is pretty much meant to go on her. Is a lightning spear, of course. But you do get it from a heavily general fight, so that's going to be not for a while. So I just gave her as much defense as possible. Yeah, she's basically a knight class, so... Yeah, so she does have the ability to heal, but I think that's mainly meant to go on Lancelot, and I don't really want her to be also healing as well as doing damage, even though she doesn't really do much damage in the first place. Enemies just tend not to attack her because she just resists so much damage that they just don't attack her. So they just go for other units, just like all of my other damage dealers. Anyway, Vice. Punch. He is meant to go behind people and punch the shit out of them. I should probably give him the scout vest just to give him as much movement as possible so he can get behind people. But I'll think about that later. I don't know if that's a good idea because he's already taken a ton of damage as it is, and the Bracer Hook is just to give him a way to get Escalade, honestly. So yeah, not much here. He used to, of course, have double hit, but I just decided to give him this. Just to do as much damage as possible. Like, this one gives him knockback, so one of the things you can do is you can set a is you can set a trap behind somebody and then do knockback on them so that they automatically get hit by the trap. So that's the goal of this build. That's a common rogue build. So rogues can have shields. So one of the things you could do is you can use shield to have a 100% knockback chance, and then just put a trap behind them, and then kill them that way. It's a really good strat, but not for the faint of heart. Anyway, Gildas hammer. Once I get the highest level hammer, I will put that on a highest level light hammer. I will put that on him. But for now, he has this hammer. I think this is the highest level two-handed hammer I have. Yes, it is. Yes. Anyway, not much else to put on him. Standard knight build, same as Murdered, same thought process as Murdered, but he doesn't have his hammer yet. So, anyway, this is one. I just put the one god weapons on him. Ozma, we're almost done. Ozma, gave her a unique whip, because why wouldn't you? Whip me, mommy, please. Once I get the alluring high boots and the alluring high dress, the alluring dress, I will probably put that on her, but that's not going to be till the end of the game. I believe those are already, in fact, a unique drop from her appearance in the last battle. I don't think you can get them from just going back and fighting her at the end of chapter 3 of Neutral or Chaos. I don't think they drop there. So, anyway, just kind of a unique thing with that. Once I get her that ability, she is really good. She does a shit ton of damage. And she is like the second best unit in the game besides Denim in the vanilla. I think they debuffed her. They certainly didn't. She's not as good as she is in vanilla, but you know, I mean, Ariseal's better than I think Ariseal's better, but you know. Anyway, I think Ariseal and Sarah are better specifically because they're designed to be archers, and the archers are the best class in the game. But you know, Ozma's pretty up there, definitely. Ozma's up there with Ravnus as being one of the better units. But damn, a lot of good fucking female units in this game. Holy shit. And Oceone, Dragonborn, cool unique class, which of course allows you to buff dragons and also use a lot of the dragon skills on her. I gave her an axe because why not? I think she uses all the weapons that appear in Skyrim. Besides ranged weapons. I don't think she can use crossbows or bows. I could check that, but I'm too lazy. So just like standard, just in your face build. I just gave her as tough as I could, as much defense as I could have. I don't think she can have more defense with this, and then just gave her an axe because she doesn't have the ability to get augment elements anyway. I don't think so. Yeah, she also has draconic magic, which is really good. Cressida, Lich. I know she normally can't become a Lich because you normally can't make a named unit Liches, but I cheated it in because I already had a Necromancer. I didn't want to make him a Lich because I didn't want to stare at that fucking ugly sprite all day. Anyway, I think the male Necromancer sprite is really cool, and I wanted him to keep having that, so that's why. That's my logic. Don't question it. Anyway, the Lich is a really good class. She's of course a really good unit. I haven't had much time to spend with her because she's I got her so late. This is like the last unit that's not from Coda that I got. So, but yeah, just a standard mage build here with Flame and Void and Ars Goetia, just so I can see trajectories and stuff like that. But pretty standard mage build otherwise. Pretty standard. Last unit, Iria, Famprit for the All Heal 3. Pretty much that's my logic there. All Heal 3 is a really, really good skill to have on a fucking weapon. Holy shit, there's not much other weapons that have All Heal that have a healing effect on them, so it's really good. Also, I gave her the Gale Choker just to have that. And I gave her, just in case I really wanted to put her in the front, I gave her the Unseen Vest just in case she does get hit, because she is more likely to be closer to enemies, so that's why she has that, and she also has this for spell casting. Even though I don't know, maybe I need to rethink this one. But yeah, anyway. Really, really good class here. Songstress, really good class. As you have seen, it performs incredibly well. Really good buffs, really good debuffs on enemies. Definitely a class that's only meant for you to have one of, even though you can cheat, and that the mod author did add, I believe, sprites for custom sprites for those characters. If you really want to have a generic songstress or bard, I believe the bard it changed to have bard in if you want to put a male unit on here. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this map. Not much else to do. Not much else to say except thank you so much for watching. I hope that was helpful in understanding why my characters were built the way that they were. Anyway, next time we will be actually doing a map instead of me just sitting here and talking like a fucking dumbass and talking for like what? It's been almost an hour. It's been an hour. Yeah, it's been over an hour. Holy shit, I just sat here and talked for an hour about some stupid bullshit that didn't matter anyway. Oh, whatever. Thank you so much for watching anyway. See ya!